Good morning. My name's Lisa Allen. I had I wouldn't say a fun time writing this paper, but it was decent. It was an experience. My research paper is actually on my father, who was a well known drug producer and dealer in Lakeland, Florida. We, that's where we're from, obviously. But at the time of the incident, me and my dad were not on good terms at all. We actually had just told each other how much we hated each other. It was a crazy situation. But then I got the call. My father was shot. It brought every hatred I had to him to a halt. Made me realize that I should have just been there for him, no matter what the situation was. He was in a coma for about 2 months, almost about 2 months, and I was terrified of losing him. Terrified. I laid on that hospital floor for every, as non-waking moment he had. I was there every second of every day. The only time we ever left was to shower, eat. The incident occurred on January 27th, 2015, that had my life in shambles. I actually didn't work or anything for that month and a half, but about 2 months, I think it was. I was there, but I was not there mentally. I don't recall everything that happened, everything the officer said to me, what's the word? There was so much happening that I couldn't remember. So I wanted to take a step back and look at papers and documents to have physical evidence of anything, to link Spring to things, because I wanted her to be involved. I did. 100% I wanted proof that she was there. I couldn't find it anywhere. I have little evidence that she was involved, but that could be officers keeping that information held to their self, because maybe she was. There is still a chance that she was involved. But I, personally, myself, wants to hold no grudges towards anybody that was involved. My father got him into the situation he was already in, so that's on them. But when I dig deeper into the situation, I found court documents with lots of evidence on Tina and Otis and Beach. And even throughout that information, Spring was never mentioned in anything. She was definitely the number one suspect for the longest time on everybody's mind, but only because she had reason to. She had motive. She had everything that could have possibly want to do this, I guess you should say. Because there is no motive behind Otis and Tina and Beach besides the money and the drugs. But that is a good enough substantial motive for meth heads. People who want to buy it. There is times when they will do anything to get this drug. Anything. And I guess this is a situation where it could have happened. And I don't want to necessarily say Spring was never involved. I think there was a slight chance still. 100% do. But I hold no, what's the word, remorse? No? Not remorse. I hold nothing over anybody. I went over court documents through clerkofcourts.com. I signed up to get all information that I could get on everybody. And so this is what I found. That just Tina and Otis were the only ones charged with anything because they have substantial evidence on being involved. once I spoke with Tina, she completely denied everything, but there's so much evidence against Tina herself, more evidence against Tina than Otis. And obviously, Johnny Beach did all the actions, so he ended up killing himself. He literally was cornered in the woods near Kathleen High School and shot himself in the head. He did not want to go back to jail. He refused to go back to prison. He's been in prison almost his entire life for his own actions. So this is just people making bad decisions all over the place. And yes, I grew up as a child that was a meth producer and dealer's daughter. It's not an easy life to grow up in. Yes, you have money just kind of handed to you, but it's not easy. Especially when your dad is not just a meth dealer, he does it himself. It is a hard life to live. It's not something I want to suggest to anybody. But if you're in that situation, you might want to get out. Don't associate yourself with that. There has been times that I almost went to jail for him, and it had nothing to do with me. But I want to let y'all know that I went through every aspect I could to find information on the case. Through the clerk of courts, arrest records. I found out so much on my dad and my brother I didn't even know. I didn't even mention him. But if you're ever interested in reading a good book, this will be part of it. So, have a wonderful evening. I hope I got this research paper and presentation done correctly. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening and have a good night.